You guys, welcome to the Friday, February 17th. This is our Inspiration Friday call, Freedom Friday, and today we've got a very special guest speaker. Though we're going to learn a little technique from one of the leading leaders of our company, Mr. Vincent Thornton. Let me tell you a little bit about Vincent. He actually works with the Wilson Agency and runs the show out in the state that is high in the middle and round on both ends. That's right, Ohio. Vincent started with Family Heritage in 2016. He was a 2016 Fast Start winner, shall I say earner, but he earned it. In 2017, he was on the Chairman's Club and the state governor, number one agent in the state. 2018, President's Club, Chairman's Club rather, and also the governor of Ohio, number one in the state again. You spotting a trend? 2019, President's Club and state governor, 3 years running. 2020, Leaders Club, 2022, Leaders Club and Achievers Club. Guys, he's written more than $1.1 million in personal sales in his 6+ year career. He's got over 50 Eagles written, and if you've taken the time to read any of them, you know they are chock full of great information. He's attained regional director in 3 quarters in 2022. So not just the two it takes to get there, but he's been maintaining it. So he's one of the few RDs in the entire company. He resides in rural Ohio with his beautiful wife Leslie and his children. He attended for college. He attended the Ohio State University. Go Buckeyes! He is a Word Vision missions partner. His hobbies include working on and modifying his Jeep Rubicon, who he affectionately calls her Silverback, and he loves traveling anywhere where there's an ocean. And I can attest to that because I recently saw him near an ocean about a month ago. And my man is a dapper dresser. He did not put that in his bio here, but my man knows how to put a suit on and rock it. His favorite poem, I'll share it with you real quick. And maybe there's a story behind it. But there's a bird with no feet, only wings, and it sleeps in the wind and it sings all day long as it travels the skies. And it lands only once when it dies. Guys, let's give a warm Davenport Agency, Schneider Agency welcome for the amazing, the incomparable, the unmatched, the governor of the state of Ohio, Mr. Vincent Thornton.
Let's go. Thank you guys. Thank you. Appreciate that. Wonderful intro. And wow, you guys are just killing it. The Snyder and Davenport Agency rock stars across the board. And congratulations on a record-setting week. I'm sure you guys will break your record for 2023. So super pumped to hear that good news. I'm going to speak on this morning the power of field pairing. Again, the power of field pairing. And most important fulfillment that I've received, in my career, it's not, all the personal awards, but it was actually what happened last year. And that's the Agency Builder award that I attained. Seeing the impact of what I do for others succeed for me is immeasurable. And a couple quotes that I like embody this. The first one is from Napoleon Hill. It is literally true that you can succeed best and quickest helping others succeed. And the other one I love is from Booker T. Washington. If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else. In our agency, we've taken these quotes to task. This year, our motto company-wide is united. Two or more people united in a noble cause breaks barriers that seem impossible. So in our organization, and in life in general, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. We have individuals that are experts in their approaches. We have individuals who have charisma and know, a little bit about everything. We have individuals that are extremely technically sound, masterful closers. But what you'll find, just like in real sports, like basketball, everyone has their skill sets that complement each other. For example, Jordan and Pippen, Karl Malone and John Stockton, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. That's might be before a little bit of you guys' time, but most currently the Splash Brothers. The key is to be intentional with who you pair with. You wouldn't pair two basketball players that are struggling, right? Two rookies. Therefore, you wouldn't pair two struggling agents. So you want to make sure one of them has a hot hand, someone that's averaging a green out and above consistently. And for me, I personally perform better if I'm in front of an audience. Some of my best weeks in the business have been training or partnering with other agents. The fun part is you can challenge each other. You can have fun in the field. You can do friendly bets. One of my favorite ones is, we'll have a strip mall and that we'll approach, and I'll take one, and the person I'm with will take the other, and whoever sets the most enrollments buys dinner or buys lunch. You'll eventually see between the hot hand and the person that's struggling that they feed off of each other, and the one who's struggling finds where they're off in their skill set. It could be something simple like positive mental attitude, voice tone, and the sales talk, body language. What I find most is they're not listening to the cues of their prospect. That's the greatest failure. You gotta make sure you're listening to what the prospect is telling you, either by body language or their feedback when you're doing the sales talk. And in my experience, it's always something small. And what's nice is once it's identified and it clicks, that struggling agent is off to an incredible start. Now, I'm really super stoked. I have one of my agents that actually took part in this experience, Mr. Brian Foley. Brian is just a superstar in this business. He's brand new. He started mid last year. He was an international business owner prior to coming here, but he hit the ground running. He closed a huge franchise in his first week in the business. Top 5 producer in all of IBG last year. But like most of us, if you've done this long enough, you will hit a slump. So he found himself in one early this year. And so the power of field pairing came into play. Hey, Brian, you're on the call?
I am. Good morning.
Awesome. All yours, my friend.
Well, thanks, Vincent, and thanks to all the other partners out there who allowed Vince and I to come on this morning. Pretty exciting to share some of the things that I've experienced with the concept that Vince is sharing today, where you're pairing with someone. And I always enjoyed going and doing things on my own, but when I was introduced to the pairing, I'm like, let's give this a shot because it sounds really interesting. And I'll tell you, it takes your enrollments and your closing to a whole new level. Because, not only are, like Ben said, we're feeding off of each other's strengths and weaknesses. You might go into an enrollment, and I'm going to give you like a quick situation. Another agent and I, we went into an enrollment in this business that we went into. The building itself was extremely large. So what we decided to do is we, of course, asked the management there, is it okay for us to take 2 employees at a time, or would you prefer us just to do 1 at a time because we don't want to take away from your business? And he was very nice to say, something, I've got so many people here. If you want to do 2 at a time to kind of speed things up because we know you're busy and we're also busy, that's fine. And that's what I kind of like to hear, because what happened is that I was able to take a group of the employees that kind of worked in the front of the building, and the other agent was able to take a group of the employees who worked in the back. So in that situation, what was great is activity breeds activity. So as other employees in the back were going, hey, what's going on? Why are they sitting down doing this enrollment for benefits? That employee then walks to the front, and then he sees it up there. And then like, oh, wow, really, there's really something going on. So as one person gets up and says, wow, these benefits were great, to John Doe, and then John Doe might kind of shrug it off and say, oh, okay, well, that's fine. I really don't need anything. Then he goes back into the back, and Julie gets up and says, oh my goodness, these benefits were awesome. Wait till you sit down. Now that person's going, oh, wow, maybe this is something I really need to pay attention to. Activity breeds activity. So on that aspect, on that particular enrollment that we did, it was nice that we were able to do, both of us sit down. Now, when we're partnering and we have to do just one person at a time, here's where the strengths and the weaknesses kind of come into play. As I'm doing a demo, the other agent just kind of sits there off to the side and he or she just listens. So they are then picking up on how I'm doing my demo. And then vice versa. Then the next person, whether I close that person or I don't, the next person that comes to sit down is now the other agent. And we just take turns back and forth. And as that other agent is now doing a demo, I'm sitting back and I'm kind of listening and taking those internal notes going, wow, he or she did that just a little differently than I did. Let me see how that pans out. Then I might see that client go and they kind of sit up in their seat and they kind of lean their head in a little bit more. And I'm like, wow, I didn't do it quite like that. I'm going to try that the next time. And vice versa. So that's where the kind of the strengths and the weaknesses. And I'll tell you what, partners, when we did that, it literally took the results to a higher level. We had a much higher closing ratio when you have that other person there with you. And it's fun. You're going in, you have another person with you. At the end of that enrollment, we were kind of comparing notes. We have lunch together. We go to the next enrollment. And I'll tell you what, if I could do pairing every single day, I would definitely do it. It really is a difference. So when we get to, and I know it kind of jumped ahead a little bit, but the setup is a little different because what we do, or what I've done in the past, is maybe the other agent on this enrollment day says, something, I've already set up 2 or 3 enrollments for us this day, and this is how we're going to tackle it. So if that agent is the one that set up the enrollments, for me personally, I kind of looked at that agent as the boss today. Okay, you're my boss. You set up the enrollments. You already have the contact person's name and so forth and what their position is. We go into the enrollments and he kind of takes the first step forward and he kind of leads while we walk in. And then vice versa. If I set up the enrollments, then, I let the other agent know, hey, this is what we're going to do today. Here's the person we need to speak to. Here's kind of the layout of the business. I kind of, know how many people are going to be there and so forth. And that's kind of how the whole setup works. And then, finally, and I'll come to a close and kind of let Vince kind of take over. Again, my takeaway is it really brought it to a whole new level. I enjoy going out and having my enrollments scheduled and talking with everybody. And I have fun while I'm doing it. And I didn't realize how much more fun that I had by having another agent there, because not only are you, I guess not only are you still having a good time with your clients and protecting families, but you're also getting a chance to know that agent on a more personable level. Yeah, you might hang out with them, and see them on calls and everything, but now you're really getting to learn a lot more about that agent and what that agent, just like you do with the client, you're getting to know him or her a lot better. It really is fun, and it has impacted me on a personal level. I'm sure it has impacted the other agents that we've partnered up with to do demos and so forth. And I know that when I work with Vince, I learned so much, and I'm so grateful to have him as a partner and as a friend in my life, because he has been there for us, and not just me, for all of us on our Ohio team, just day in and day out, always positivity, and it really does help. So, I hope what I explained to everybody, I hope you guys can take that away as some, a little more, a little more positivity when you're going out and doing your stuff. And if you have a chance to partner with someone in your same town, or even if you have to drive an hour to do that, you really will see a difference, 100%. So that's what I have. I hope that has impacted everybody in a positive way. Back to you, Vince.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. And, to summarize, we are all united, and we all want the same thing. We want to protect families as possible, because quite frankly, at the end of the day, our product offerings, hands down, you're better off with them than without them in any scenario that you can give me. But you need to be intentional who you choose to pair with. Like I said, two struggling agents shouldn't pair with each other. Why? Because compounding bad habits only will lead to negative results. Again, it must be an agent that's averaging 5K or higher is the standard. Preparation, and I can't emphasize this enough, is everything. Before pairing week, you must have activities scheduled and set an agenda each day. Never, ever just wing it. And finally, Brian alluded to it, just have a lot of fun, be competitive together, make fun bets, have challenges. I'm even, I've done competitions between paired groups, and, winner takes all. It can be extremely fun and very lucrative at the same time. I'm very humbled by your time and attention. Your life is a gift from God. What you do with your life is a gift to God. So, nothing is impossible without him, which that's from Luke 37. God bless you all. Appreciate your time. Have an awesome rest of the week.
Vincent, thank you so very much for hopping on. And guys, great ideas. That information was captured, and we will be putting that, just like we do all of our content that we have, we will be putting it on our YouTube channel. I hope that you guys are utilizing that, and I hope that when you, in the event that you do miss a Zoom, that you go back and find out the topic and then research that. I want to share with you guys real quickly before we hop off, just so you know how to find that. I think we've all used YouTube before, but if you'll simply go to YouTube and then do a search on Globe Life, I believe it should pop up to Globe Life, Davenport Schneider Agencies. Here we go. Right there, guys. Pops up. Click right there on it. And guys, you have all of our content. Yesterday's Zoom, 10 ways to improve and be a good agent. It's right there. Agent tools and resources to use by Brad Phillips was put up there. The introduction and its 3 parts from a couple days ago was put up there. Bettering yourself and your demos is up there. The value of time and the value of no's. Very powerful one we had about 2 weeks ago with Dylan Buck. It's up there, guys. And they're all up there. If you look on here on the, I believe it's the playlists, you can see everything that's on there. There's linked videos. There is, I'm sure these playlists are in order, but you can get to transition to the close on here. Monday, good news and incentive updates. Tuesday meetings, technical, habit, skills, and attitude. Okay, it's all in there, guys. It's a font of great knowledge. So just make sure that if you happen to miss a good one and your team leader, your agency owner says, "Hey, make sure you get that content." Just know where to go get it. And just take the time, guys. Budget that time to get in there and do it. Anytime we see Rob McLean on one of these things, guys, people always will walk away from those things going, "Wow, that was incredible. That was impactful." Good chance that most of the folks on here, since you're newer, may have missed that one. Get on there and check it out. But let's use the tools we're available, guys. We all have the same tools available. It's just a matter of those who use those tools that utilize to move forward and to progress. So thanks for being on, guys. We've had a great week so far. Remember, Friday is 20% of Monday through Friday. So it should at least be 20% of our results, if not more, because we've got the positive momentum coming from the first 4 days. So let's ride that momentum out. Let's run through the finish line like any Olympic athlete would and finish our week like champions. And let's do something today that your future self will thank you for. Thanks for being on, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Vincent.
Vincent.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.